This misty story and all its characters and events are entirely fictional. Any resemblance to reality is purely coincidental. Damian Keller was once an intelligence analyst in the military. By the time he turned 38, he was neither a hero nor a traitor, just a man erased by the system he once served. When he was quietly forced out of the army, he left behind rumors, unfinished reports, and a name that slipped through people's memories. No one looked for him. No one asked questions. Damien became what he always feared: invisible. He lived alone in a crumbling apartment on the 4th floor of a gray block. His days were spent fixing old radio parts, his nights with dusty vinyl records spinning on a player that sometimes stopped mid-song. Only one person still knocked on his door: his sister Marta. Marta Keller was nothing like him. She didn't know how to be invisible. She was a known investigative journalist, the kind who whispered to the wrong people about missing files and generals without names. Whenever Marta showed up at Damien's door, she left him something. That night she dropped an old external hard drive onto his table. Her voice was sharp as ever. "You're going to keep this safe." Damien frowned. Marta always came with trouble. "What's on it?" Marta gave him a tired, dangerous smile. "Questions. Questions this country can't answer, and neither can I." Damien locked the hard drive away in an old metal safe under his desk. He didn't open it. He didn't want to know. Marta's wars were not his wars. But a week later, he found Marta's cracked phone at his apartment door. Police reports said she'd had an accident. No cameras, no witnesses. When Damien reached the hospital, Marta was gone. Officially, missing person, case closed. But for Damien, the case had just begun. He tore through Marta's notes, her old apartment, her files. Nothing made sense, except the drive. Rage pushed aside fear. He plugged it into his battered laptop. One folder. Vigilant. Inside, scanned documents, old surveillance reports, wiretaps from the 90s, blurred photos of men in suits, and a single file. Order list. Damien whispered the word over and over. Order. He opened it, and it took his breath away. Line after line of names: politicians, judges, businessmen, reporters. Next to each, codes, dates, short commands: wake, sleep, use, erase. At the very bottom, his own name: Damian Keller, sleeper. Dated 2007. He felt the cold weight of old memories, his sudden dismissal from the army, the unsigned orders, the silence that followed. Was he always just a piece in someone else's game? He packed the drive and went to Marta's flat. The door was broken, the place torn apart. He found a single scrap of paper in a drawer, buried under old bills. Colonel Strauss. Whisper. A ghost from Damien's past. Colonel Henrik Strauss, retired military strategist, the man who once taught Damien how shadows move. Back then, Strauss whispered rumors about a hidden circle inside the state, a circle called Order. As Damien left, he spotted two figures in the hallway mirror. Faces hidden under hoods, silent hand signs exchanged. He didn't wait. He fled down the fire escape, hearing footsteps behind him. Marta was gone. They were after the drive, and now they were after him. For nights, Damien slept in abandoned buildings, switching locations, trying to breathe through panic. He reached for old contacts in secret military forms, the old code words, the ones only Strauss would recognize. One dawn, a single reply appeared on his phone. Meet. Dark Passage, 2345. Dark Passage was an abandoned train tunnel outside the city. When Damien stepped inside, he found Strauss waiting in the shadows of an old railcar. The colonel hadn't changed. Gray suit, white hair, dark circles under cold eyes. Damien held up the drive. "Marta is gone. My name is on this list. What the hell is order? Strauss lit a cigarette. Smoke drifted through the broken windows. Some men stay awake all their lives, Damien. Some only wake when it's time for war. Which one are you? Damien wanted to scream, but the words died in his throat. Strauss handed him a small card. On it, a single line. Order is just a name. The rest is darkness. Strauss leaned closer. If this file goes public, the walls of this country will fall. That's why Marta disappeared. That's why you're alive. Choose carefully. Damien thought of Marta's tired smile. The name Damian Keller buried at the end of a secret list. Maybe Marta vanished to wake him up. He looked at Strauss, then at the darkness beyond the tunnel. He spoke softly, but each word was a bullet. I don't know who I'm fighting yet, Strauss, but I won't stay silent anymore. Part 1 and Vormini Asiu Damian Keller file will continue.